So I just looked at the article, USA Today, National Public Data confirms massive data breach included Social Security numbers. And you guys are, I believe, quoted in here in this article with USA Today about what Pentester does. So talk about Social Security. So we had all these Social Security numbers being, leaked. And it says Social Security numbers, names, addresses, email addresses, phone numbers were in the 2.9 billion records within a data breach. Security firm Pentester tells you if your data is involved or not. So
yes,
to the average person, what does Pentester do?
So in this case, we did something we did something different. So almost every single article is going to be referencing that site, npd.pentester.com, which stands for National Public Data. So what we did is we were able to access a list that was for sale for $3.5 million in April. And a hacking group took it from a company called National Public Data, which is a crazy story. Do you know anything about this? So the person that was running that website I think his name's Salvador, but he was a Florida sheriff. You can look him up. And he somehow, some way, got 2.9, approximately 3 billion records that include your first name, last name, address, phone numbers, and social security number for pretty much every single American alive and deceased. Because our population is not even close to the 3 billion. That's a third of the planet, I believe. So when I was looking up, my mom, I was seeing addresses when she was a teenager. But the guy that owned the website, and maybe you'll find his name, but the reason. Do you want me to go into how he got compromised or more about the...
Sure.
Okay. So the reason why he got compromised was there was a secondary website that used the exact same login, and they must have been either sharing a server or just had the same technology, and they had a default password. So default password attacks are so common, it's unbelievable. Like somebody leaving the same password on the router or leaving the same password on a device when they buy it, or website that just gets set up. It says maybe your password is password 123. And then if you Google, let's say Cisco default password, you'll see the default password. So this guy, he creates a background check company called National Public Data, gets clearance, who knows how, for all of that data with all the social security numbers, and leaves the default password, which was, I believe, 6 digits long, and on a mirror website that mirrored National Public Data. So the attackers used that same credential as an administrator to log in and then extrapolate all of the data.
What?
It was as simple as a credential reuse vulnerability. And then Pentester, what we do is like you saw when you looked it up, you can put your email in there. So you put in your email. I would recommend using your primary email, or maybe sometimes even an older one. You should check them all, honestly, on the free scan as well as the paid version. But this is different than the main page. But the main, we'll search over 150 billion records that include, passwords, social security numbers, credit cards, addresses, even private messages on websites. You name it, anything that's been leaked on the dark web. So for $19, we show you all of that data. We show you every social media account, every profile that's associated with your emails and phone numbers, and that includes for your kids too. So to know if your kids are signed up for Instagram and all the other apps, if you want to confirm it, you can easily add them in there safely and securely. Pay $5 extra per family member or kid, and you'll be able to see what all of their data. But it's super important to know which passwords are out there and breached for this exact reason, because our entire country got breached. 3 billion records, the largest breach I've ever seen in my life, and probably the most impactful I've ever seen in my life, happened in the last, I would say week and a half. 6 days straight now, we've been dealing with about 30 to 50,000 users on our website per minute. I have an interesting screenshot I can show you.
30 to 50,000 per minute.
Check this screenshot out. It's been unbelievable, and we do not. I'll say this on here. We don't have the support team to handle the amount of traffic we're getting, but we are growing and adapting quick. Look at this number right here. Every single blue bar there is a single minute.
Are you joking?
How wild is that?
Oh, but most of it is in U.S.
All U.S., yeah.
Canada, UK, Mexico, because U.S. is the one that's, oh my God.
Right.
And that's 35,000 paying $19?
No. That's 35,000 people, just with the screenshot that I took. 35,000 people at one time using npd.pentester.com, which then when they're finished searching there, they go to the main Pentester website, which allows you to search your email. And then that'll tell you your passwords, your address, maybe your social, your relatives, all kinds of information. And then from there, you choose remove my data or, whatever.
How do you do it, though? Now that it's public and the guy has it, how do you remove your data?
So you cannot remove data from the dark web, but you can remove data from data brokers, which is huge. The best way to remove data, in our eyes, is for you to change your passwords, because you can't remove it from the dark web. You can't remove it from people's computers after they download these databases. And I don't know of a better way to explain that, because a lot of people don't understand that we don't have control over deleting data off of people's computers that downloaded it themselves. We do have control over some of the data brokers because they're required to remove your data. So what we do is we take your first name, your last name, your date of birth, and as many identifiers as you're willing to give us, and then we send a query on your behalf to all of these major data brokers and if you don't know what a data broker is, it's just somebody like, for example, White Pages that would store your personal information, including your family's information, phone numbers, everything for just to Google a name and a state, you'll find yourself. We remove that data for you. All you have to do is just sit back and wait, refresh the page every couple of days, see how many removals are in progress, how many have been removed. And then as you're doing that, you can scroll down the page. You'll see all the social profiles associated with your email and phone number and name. And then underneath of that, you have all of your passwords and everything else that's out there. So you get a really good idea of what your digital footprint is for $19. And you really can't beat that, in my opinion. There's nothing else like it. We genuinely don't even have competition because we have a combination of data broker removal and the largest breach database in the world. So it's just kind of unmatched. And
Who else is doing what you're doing right now? Who else does that?
There's not a single competitor.
There's not a single competitor?
No, not.
So how many people have already done the $19 with you?
I don't think I should say, but we're doing well.
Is it over $1 million or less than $1 million?
Less than $1 million paying 19, yeah.
And it's one time. It's not like I'm running my credit every time. It's just one time I do it.
So your credit's not being run ever?
No, I get that. What I'm saying is like a credit test when I run it. This thing I'm just doing it one time.
No, so it's important to keep it on. So there's two reasons why. So data brokers, for the most part, will re-index your data every 90 days. And we will go in there automatically to see if it comes back up. And we'll let you know that your data's back and we're removing it again. So you're going to keep it for that reason alone. And then secondly, if a new password gets breached, let's say yours gets breached in the next 10 minutes, you're going to want to get that email saying, hey, your password's out there. And you're going to get that email before Google Chrome gives it to you anyway. Hey guys, my name is Ryan Montgomery, also known as Zero Day. I'm proud to be part of the app Minect. If you have any questions regarding child safety, cybersecurity, or even any of the gadgets that you see me use all over the internet, feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to help you with any questions or concerns you may have. Stay safe.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.